Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Muttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text number 7. Amantrya Pandu Putramscha Amantrya Pandu Putramscha Sainayodhava Samyutaha Sainayodhava Samyutaha Dvaipayanadibhirvipraihi Dvaipayanadibhirvipraihi Pujitai pratipujitaha Pujitai pratipujitaha
Amantrya Panduputramscha
Panduputramscha
Sainayodhava Samyutaha
Sainayodhava Samyutaha
Dvaipayanadibhirvipraihi
Dvaipayanadibhirvipraihi
Pujitai Pratipujitaha
Pujitai pratipujitaha
Amantriya Panduputramsha
Amantrya Panduputramscha
Senayodhava Samyutaha
Senayodhava Samyutaha
Dvaipayanadibhirvipraihi
Dvaipayanadibhirvipraihi
Pujitai Pratipujitaha
Pujitai pratipujitaha
Amantrya Panduputramscha
Amantrya Panduputramscha
Sainayodhava Samyutaha
Senayodhava Samyutaha Dvaipayanadibhirvipraihi Pujitai pratipujitaha
Amantrya Putramsha
Amantrya Panduputramscha
Sainayodhava Samyuta
Senayodhava Samyuta Dvaipayanadibhirvipraihi
Pujit
Synonyms. Amantrya, inviting. Panduputran, all the sons of Pandu. Cha, also. Seneya, Satyaki. Uddhava, Uddhava. Samyutaha, accompanied. Dvaipayanadibihi, by the rishis like Vedavyasa. Vipraihi, by the Brahmanas. Pujitaihi, being worshipped. Pratipujitaha, the Lord also reciprocated equally. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charnaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Lord Shri Krishna then prepared for his departure. He invited the sons of Pandu after having been worshipped by the Brahmanas. Headed by Srila Vyasadeva, the Lord also reciprocated greetings. Translation of the repetition. Lord Shri Krishna then prepared for his departure. He invited the sons of Pandu after having been worshipped by the Brahmanas, headed by Srila Vyasadeva. The Lord also reciprocated greetings. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Apparently, Lord Shri Krishna was a Kshatriya and was not worshipable by the Brahmanas. But the Brahmanas present there, headed by Srila Vyasadeva, all knew him to be the personality of Godhead, and therefore they worshipped him. The Lord reciprocated the greetings just to honor the social order that a Kshatriya is obedient to the orders of the Brahmanas. Although Sri Krishna was always offered the respects due the Supreme Lord from all responsible quarters, the Lord never deviated from the customary usages between the four orders of society. The Lord purposely observed all these social customs so that others would follow him in the future. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitanena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yam pravajantam anupedopeta krityam dvaipayano virahata kataraha ujava putreti tanmayataya tarvo binedustas sarvabhutam munimanatosmi. So today we have this Bhagavatam first canto, chapter 8, verse text number 7. It's very important for all of us that today we are all sitting here to hear this Bhagavatam, irrespective of the speaker who is speaking, but we all have been wanting to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and we desire to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and we come and sit here and hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So who can understand Srimad Bhagavatam? So one who has taken to devotional life can understand Srimad Bhagavatam. And it is said that Bhakti Yogo Bhagavati Tannama Grahanadivihi. So Bhakti Yoga, or the devotional service, begins from chanting the holy name of the Lord. Because the whole Bhagavatam Adi Madhyavasaneshu Vairagyakyana Samyutam. So Bhagavatam is full of literature which asks you or demands you to be more austere, to do sacrifice and give away things. So who in this world would be really interested to get into such literature? Unless until we get taste in it. Yes, followed with this Bhagavatam is prasadam, is always tasty, and we may be drawn by that, but still we sit for say half an hour, 45 minutes to really listen Bhagavatam. So it's only because of the mercy of the holy name and the devotional service, we are all sitting here, we are trying to hear something about Krishna, want to become devotee of Krishna, like that. There's a wonderful verse which says, Srimad Bhagavatam Shastram Yatra Bhagavate Yada Kriyate Shruyate Chapi Shri Krishna Tatra Nischitam. So Srimad Bhagavatam Shastra, this literature Srimad Bhagavatam, whenever and wherever a devotee recites this transcendental literature, Kriyate Shruyate Chapi, one who recites or one who listens this literature, Shri Krishna's Tatra Nishchitam. Certainly, definitely, absolutely, without any doubt, Krishna is present here. So it's all the only reason that we all are sitting here, because we all love Krishna. We all want to hear the message of Krishna. So when we all have one common goal, definitely Krishna is also amidst us. And Srimad Bhagavatam is full of prayers. And this is the chapter entitled The Prayer of Queen Kunti and Parikshit Saved. Is the title of this chapter, chapter 8 of Canto 1. And this eloquent prayers made by Kunti and his ardent prayer made by Uttara. So two women devotees are offering their prayers to Lord in this very chapter. And Bhagavatam, as I said, is full of prayers. It is prayers by some demigods, it's prayers from sages, it's prayers by some kings, it's prayers by some citizens of Hastinapur, citizens of Dwarka, prayers by women. Almost some 8 to 9 women prayers are there here, like Devaki's prayers, Devahuti's prayers, Rukmini's prayers, Uttara's prayers, Draupadi's prayers, Lakshmi Devi's prayers, Bhumi Devi's prayers. So many women prayers. They're praying. And the prayers by children is also there. Dhruva Maharaj's prayers, Prahlad Maharaj's prayers, prayers by Gopalas, Krishna's friends. And there's prayers by not only human beings but even animals. And not only animals, even insects, Brahmana Gita, so many things, so many prayers. And prayers by Rakshasas, Yakshas, so many prayers. Basically, all these prayers is glorifying the pastimes and activities of Krishna in his various incarnations. It is said, Yasyam Vaishyamanayam Krishna Parama Purushe Bhakti Utpadhyate Pumsam Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. Such a wonderful sloka. It says, just by giving an oral reception, Yasyam Vaishyamanayam, just by giving oral reception to this Vedic literature, Bhagavatam, Krishna Parama Purushe, about the transcendental activities of Krishna, Bhakti Utpadhyate Pumsam. It certainly, the bhakti sprouts out in one's heart, which can extinguish shoka moha bhayapaha, which can extinguish the shoka, lamentation, moha, illusion, and bhaya, it is the fearlessness. It is said in Shastras, Grihita evakesheshu mrityum dharam dharmam acharet. So death can come any moment to any of us. So death is holding our shika, death is just holding our hair, and any moment it can pull us out from this body. But irrespective of any conditions we are in, if at all, if we want to be fearless, then we have to hear this Bhagavatam every day. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. That is said in the Niti Shastras, Dhananjaye Hataka Sampariksha Maharane Shastrapatam Pariksha Vipattikale Grihini Pariksha Vidyavatam Bhagavata Pariksha. Dhananjaya Hataka Pariksha. So if you want to test the purity of gold, what you have to do? You have to put under fire. Then you want to get to know the purity of it, whether it's a polished gold or real gold. And Maharane Shastrapatam Pariksha. If you want to know that there is a great valor, soldier with his valor, it's very powerful. So how to find out that his valor could be found out when he fights in the war. Vipatti kale grihini pariksha. So when a man loses all of his money and name, fame, everything, so in the times of difficulty, how long your wife is with you. So vipatti kale grihini pariksha, that is pariksha, that's how your wife really loves you amidst any conditions of your life. Vidyavatam Bhagavata Pariksha. So the test of learned is in the mastery of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we may have all the degrees in the world, but still this one book Srimad Bhagavatam is sufficient for humankind to have a civilized life and make the whole world a Vaikuntha, a heaven, and after that you can go back to God, to Krishna. So this is about the Srimad Bhagavatam. So let's come back to this today's verse. This is the 8th chapter, 7th verse. So we all have been hearing this Bhagavatam every week. So let's recap and let's summarize what we had heard or learnt last few weeks back. So Ashwatthama was, what happened? Ashwatthama was appropriately punished, and Pandava went to the banks of Ganges, and they did all the final rites for their dead relatives, especially the 5 dead sons, their own sons, and they appropriately, sufficiently honored the Brahmanas. Then they took the bath in the Ganges, and they were so much grieved, the lamenting because of their relatives, losing their relatives. So as they were in this condition, Krishna and all the rishis, they came and they gave proper instruction to them, to console their soul, but still they were not so much satisfied by that. And after that, Krishna stayed there for some more time, and he reinstated Yudhishthira as a king of this planet, and he had performed 3 Ashwamedha sacrifice from Yudhishthira. And then Krishna, after doing all those things, he prepared to leave to Dwaraka. Amantrya Panduputranam cha senayodhava samyutaha dvaipayanadibhir vipraihi pujitehi pratipujitaha. So along with Krishna is chariot driver Satyaki, and Krishna's cousin Uddhava, Krishna's father Vasudeva, Vasudeva's brother Devabhaga, and his son was Uddhava. So Krishna had made his own cousin and younger cousin as an advisor to him, advisor to Dwaraka, and so all of them had prepared to depart to Dwaraka back. So it's such a wonderful thing that all the Boston devotees have so much love and care for each and other devotees. So much, I'm leaving to Bangalore tomorrow, and one of the devotees, almost since 2 months I'm being here, I'm associating with devotees and had a good time with all of you. So one of the devotees really, he was saying that, Prabhuji, I'm feeling so sad, feeling so sense of separation, sense of wideness, and probably it may take some time to come out of it. Generally, we also, some relatives come to our home and stay for some time, especially when I was in my home with my parents. My grandparents used to visit sometime, stay there for some time, and after they go, and my sister used to always discuss about that. So it is little painful to part away, but so we can't avoid that. So I hope all of you would have the same experience. So, and some devotee was saying, Prabhuji, come, you are going tomorrow, I'll take you here, we'll go somewhere, this place. Or some devotee saying, Prabhuji, you are going, I want to gift you something, things like that, so many things. So it is a question of, I was really thinking, what I have done to them? Nothing. But still, why they have attached is because they are seeing Prabhupada through me. And Prabhupada is directing them through some instruction, through some way, through some actions of mine, so that really it is, they are feeling the heat of the separation. So similarly here, just imagine Pandavas, where Krishna to the Pandavas was everything. He was a relative, he was a cousin, he was a friend, he was a messenger, he was a gatekeeper, he was what not. He was a protector, he was an advisor, he was a teacher, and everything to them. One man. Losing a few people itself, we feel so much pain in separating from them. So everything was this one man, all personalities in one. And he is leaving us now. And what tremendous excruciating pain they might have undergoing, then no words can explain. You can't really think about it. That is the situations here. Bhagavatam, every word is like a woman, a pregnant woman, a woman who has whole life to give to this world. Similarly, every word of this Bhagavatam is so much pregnant with meanings that if you really go into it, you'll be completely lost from this world. So, they are doing a send-off. They're trying to do a bid farewell to Krishna, and Krishna has come and he has just boarded the chariot, and that time all the Vedavyas and all Rishis, they're offering prayers to him, glorifying him, and in return Krishna is also offering prayers to all the Rishi Munis and sages, and taking their blessings, just to show an example, even though he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But still, he is setting an example to the people that we have to respect our elders, our seniors, our teachers. And nowadays also, we also basically it was like sending off. But right now, nowadays, what we do, send off parties we do. Send off party. Actually, basically, party means what? Party means to people, gather together. They eat or drink or entertainment. I don't know why it is called as party. Yes, it very much suits in office life, because boss wants to get rid of that employee wants to get rid of the boss. That is a good way of saying, but not in the family life. Send off party. So, but that was not the case in the Vedic literature, Vedic culture. And in Vedic culture, the guest used to be honored with suitable gifts before they depart, before they go, as a good farewell. They used to give that good farewell, this thing, and they used to touch their feet and take their blessings if they were juniors or younger ones. So just imagine here also Krishna is trying to do the same thing. And but presently, what we do nowadays, the trend has become something very weird. When our grandparents come to our home, we hug and kiss and say, "Mom, Pop, Poppy, Mommy," or Grampy. Actually, I was so shocked to hear, because I come from the conservative family, traditional family. In India also, children are made to call their parents by their names. So sad. And forget about Papa, Mama and all those things. And I'm so happy, and some devotees, they have taught their children to speak Amma, Appa. So it is so very nice to hear, with all respect, with all glory in it. But Pop, Mom, and Grampy, simply, just like we are calling some dogs, things like that, no respect, no value to it. So probably we are following all Western culture. I think so. It's not a culture. It is Western style. So, in fact, in my life also, when my parents or my school never thought about how to value my parents, how to customary in custom way, a Vedic custom way, how I should respect my elders. I never thought. Probably it's only because of seeing this old Mahabharata serial or Ramayana serial. I was got to know, oh, Bhratrishri, oh, Pitrishri, or something, Matashri, and they offer Dandavat Namaskaram, or touch their feet and take their blessings, things like that. Even I started doing that, but only during exam times. So, but nowadays it's so strange to see that, especially in North India, this culture is there, and they touch in a different way. They want to just pretend that they are touching the feet. Some around some 30 degrees there, like this. They don't touch the feet also. So we have to understand that Srimad Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Mahabharata is not some stories for a common man. So it is a medium to educate and demonstrate the importance of ethical life or ethical values to be imbibed by every human being, so that he becomes, so that he has very good ideal character in his life. Without a culture, we'll be just having animalistic culture. So Prabhupada writes in this translation, first canto, 19th chapter, verse 11th. It says, the system of bowing down the head to the ground to show respect to superiors is an excellent etiquette which obliges the honored guest deep into the heart. Even the first great offender is excused simply by this process. So we have to just imagine that how Krishna, 5,000 years back, he is just following this etiquette also. There's wonderful words by Rupa Goswami in Padhyavali. Vatsalyat abhayapradhat samayat arharti nirvapanat avdaryat agashoshanat agnitam shreya pradaprapanat sevya shripatir eva sarva jagatam ete yata sakshinaha praladascha vibhinascha Karirat Panchalya Halya Dhruvaha. So, just imagine that Supreme Lord who is very kind and compassionate to all living entities, who is our friend, dearmost friend, he is our protector, he is our savior, everything. And that friend, who is Vatsalyat Abhaya Pradaha, Vatsalya. What Prahlad didn't had any education or didn't had any relationship in that sense with the Lord. But he just heard what he had heard from Narada Muni when he was in the womb of his mother. So, and Lord is so affectionate to him and he was protecting him. And Abhaya Pradaha, and Vibhishana, even though he was from the enemy camp, he could have thought everyone denied it. Practically everyone from the Ramaswamy denied to take him because he may be a spy or anything like that. So why to bring danger in our army? So everyone denied it. But Rama, what he did? He took an vow that Etad Ratam Mama. Anyone who comes and surrenders unto me and say, I'm yours, my Lord, and the Lord Rama says, I give all every protection to him. Samayat Arharti Nirvapanat, or he removes all the sufferings from the devotees, just like he removed all the pains and sufferings suffered by this elephant, Gajendra. Audharyad Agashoshanad. And Audharya means he is showing that Audharya, Vatsalya, Karunya for Draupadi. Draupadi, basically she prays to Krishna in two incidents. One was Akshayapatra incident and one was during her disobeying her sari. So someone was asking why Krishna took so much time to come and protect her, because, and in Bhagavatam it says that she was trying to protect herself through her own strength, but when she completely surrendered and gave away every hope of protecting herself by herself, so then Krishna started protecting her. So, Audharya Gashoshana Agata Seve Pada Prapana Seve Shipati Yasya Jagatam Ete Yata Sakshinaha. These people are the proof that the Krishna is so merciful to all living entities, irrespective of their caste, irrespective of their education, irrespective of their beauty, wealth, name, prestige, position, anything of that sort. So, Praladascha Vibhishanascha Karirat Panchalya Ahalya Dhruvaha. So, Dhruva, Ahalya, Panchali, and Draupadi, they are the testimonies who can tell us that Krishna, Lord Vishnu, is so merciful to his devotees, very compassionate. There's one more verse just want to share with you. This wonderful verse in Padyavali. Vyadascha charanam dhruvasya kovayo vidya gajendrasya ka. So what qualification did Vyada had? Valmiki had in his previous life. He was a forest dweller. Dhruvasya ka cha vayo. So what Dhruva had, what vayas or what age he was in, just 5 years old. Gajendrasya ka, so Gajendra was just an elephant. Kubjayaha kimmu nama rupam adhikam. So Kubja, the old lady, who had hunchback lady in Dwaraka, what beauty she had. Kim Sudamno Dhanam. Did the Sudama had any wealth with him? No. Vamsha ko Vidurasya Yadavater. Vidura was born from a Shudrani, so he was not much respected. When he went for the Sandhana, when he went to have a peace talks to stop the war before Mahabharata, so he did not go to Kripacharya's house, who was a Brahmana. He did not go to Dronacharya's, who was a Brahmana. He did not go to Bhishma's house, who was his elder and senior grandfather, but he went to Vidura's house. Yadavapater Ugrasya Kim Paurusham. Yadavapati was Ugrasena, Krishna's grandfather, Vasudeva's father. So what Paurusha he had? Nothing. But Bhaktya Tushyati Kevalam Nachagunehi Bhakti Yukto Madavaha. So when Lord only sees bhakti in us, not our age, not our qualification, not our beauty, not our prowess, not our money. So that kind, merciful, compassionate, benevolent Lord is surrendering and touching the feet of Yudhishthira, touching the feet of Kunti, and taking their blessings, respecting them, and he's showing, is an exemplary, by his exemplary act, he's showing that how we all should follow in our life. So, Krishna is respecting his elders. It is said that respect must be reciprocal. So, you get what you give. Basically, each one of us are hankering or hungry after some respect by someone else. Someone has to respect us, adore us, glorify us. We all were looking, searching for this. But the principle of this world is, you get what you give. So here, amantrya panduputramscha, amantrya. And again this verse, amantrya chadi bhuya gnathaha. So this word amantrya, I was just searching Veda base, so I got almost 50 times in this Bhagavatam. This word amantrya. So basically to give respect. So here Krishna has mounted his chariot and is about to leave to Dwaraka with his Uddhava and Satyaki. And all the people who are assembled there, they are putting their tears. They are unable to bear the separation, just like Rujavasis could not bear the separation from Krishna when Krishna was leaving to Mathura, when Akrura was taking him. So, in Bhagavatam it explains that even the stones were crying. They could not see the pain suffered by these gopis. So that was the suffering or separation they were experiencing. So everything was happening, but the further next few further verses, it explains that how Krishna protects Parishit Maharaj was the last heir of Pandavas. So here Krishna is enacting just like a common man, that he is going to go to Dwaraka. Everything work is finished and you want to go to Dwaraka. But there's a lot of things are there. If you see the chapters of the Bhagavatam, you see that Parishit was protected, and after that still Yudhishthira was not pacified, and he was so much lamenting that he was the cause of everyone's death, lakhs of people's death. So Krishna instructs him, but still he was not pacified. Basically, Arjuna was lamenting before Mahabharata war, and after Mahabharata war, Yudhishthira started lamenting. But Krishna's teachings worked for Arjuna, but here Bhishma's teaching worked for Yudhishthira. So here Krishna is giving value to Bhishma that he should give all of his knowledge to Yudhishthira. What is this? I only talking every time. So just imagine the Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead who sets the dharma, who sets the principles of religion. He wants the principles of religion to be told by Bhishma Dev to Yudhishthira. So even that work was not complete. So basically it was enacting, I'm going to home and like that. But a lot of things are pending, works are pending. You see the chapters. And after Krishna departs, or what is that chapter? Krishna retired timely, Pandavas retired timely. I was just going through this Prabhupada's lecture series, and I was so shocked to know that there was there's only one class of Prabhupada in the 14th chapter of this Bhagavatam, where Krishna is departing from this material world. So no one wants to talk about Krishna, leaving Krishna or getting in separation from him, things like that. So Krishna says he is a Pita Mata, what is that? Pita Aham Asya Jagato Data Mata Pita Mahaha. So he is the father, he is our mother, he is our relative, he is our bandhu, everything. And even Vishnu Sahasranama, what is this? Lokanato, Lokabandhur. So everything, Krishna is everything. And who wants to talk about Krishna's leaving this planet or leaving Dwarka, things like that. So, but still you have to learn from here that the Krishna's benevolence, that Krishna is known as Bhaktavatsala. And just imagine Krishna he chose himself to be the chariot driver. He is a leader, a titleless leader. Have you seen anywhere a titleless leader? After performing some activity of his, he was known by it. So and so. Harisudana, Kesi Sudana, uh, so many things like that. Govardhana Giridhari. But titleless leader is this Krishna, when he takes the title of taking care of Krishna, the Arjuna's chariot. We have to really also think that Krishna is taking care of his horses, wants to feed it, bathe the horses, clean the horses, probably remove the dirt, everything. That is the chariot driver's work. Take care of the car very nicely. The driver has to take care of the car nicely, and the boss will just come and sit and just get driven. So just imagine when Acharya was explaining in the Mahabharata war, when Krishna was there as a chariot driver and Arjuna was there, and there's a huge war and a lot of tumultuous sounds and disturbances, crying, howling, fighting sound, all kinds of sounds were there. Practically you can't talk or discuss things over there. So how Arjuna used to guide or tell Krishna that he wants to go to right or left or whichever direction he want to go. He used to kick Krishna, it seems. On the right side, then he used to go right side, and he used to kick left side and things like that. So probably it may be the reason also how Krishna go right side and Krishna may not properly hear and we go to left side. So that was not the case. Arjuna used to kick Krishna, it seems, on the right or left. So that Acharya was explaining that way, that probably actually when we also we don't visualize things, we just take it for granted and see, oh, Krishna was Parsarthi, things like that, but or Draupadi, but when we stand in that position, or my mother or my sister has been destroyed and people are simply sitting and watching this, they don't have any shame, and what would be your condition, what would be your status in life? Or Krishna, when he was there, he is saying so many times, Aham Bija Pratapitaha, Aham Mahadir Devanam. He's not showing standing in the air and saying, Aham Bija Pratapitaha, Aham this like that. He's showing, there's a lot of animation going on. So he's showing hand at him, and when you start visualizing in that way, Krishna is a person, he's not some impersonal being. So when we go into some incident, you have to go deep into it, and then you start realizing that, and we can see many more paradigms into it, many more angles into it, and you have a complete vision to that. So Krishna was accepted as a chariot driver, and even after Bhishma in his prayers he says Sapadi Saki Vacho Nishamya Madhye. So Munigana Nrupavarya Sankule Nrutaha. So even though Krishna was given the power of the king during Rajasuya sacrifice, Yudhishthira made Krishna and gave all the offerings and worshipped Krishna. And but the later part we never discuss about that. In Bhagavatam, in Mahabharata, it says Krishna not only he took all the offerings in the Rajasuya Yagna performed by Yudhishthira before Mahabharata war, before they went to Vanavas. Krishna served everyone with the food, and after the penny program there's a food, and he used to serve everyone, and he used to remove the leaf also and clean that place. So that is the kind of leadership, that is the kind of the Lord which you all have. Practically showing by his example how we all should lead our life. And if you see the Krishna, he gives the position of a mother to Putana who wanted to kill him. Or Krishna was a savior to Rajavasis, or to Draupadi, or to Arjuna, and he was the best friend of Sudama. And if you see the difference between the Drupada's friendship and Drona's friendship, if you know about that story in Mahabharata, both were friends. Drona, Drupada were great friends. So Drupada had said that once I graduate from my Gurukul, and you come and ask anything, because he was a king, he was the son of a king, so he said that I'll be going to become king after that, and you come and ask anything from me, and I'm going to give anything, half the kingdom or full kingdom also I'm going to give that. That was his great friendship with Drona. Drona was a poor Brahmana. So when Drona was in that condition. He was so poor, and his wife, he insisted him, please go. Your friend is Drupada, and is a big king. We don't have milk to feed our child. Why can't you go and just ask for a cow? And when he went to ask for a cow, he humiliated. Drupada humiliated Drona very badly, and he said, I don't know who you are. And after that, we know the serious consequence. Then Drona takes as a challenge, and he comes to Kaurava's army, and he trains the Pandavas. And when Pandavas say, what is your Guru Dakshina? Then he says that I want Drupada at my feet. And Arjuna achieves that. And so then again Drupada gets very envious of Drona, and he does a big yagna, and through that he gets Drushtadumna and Draupadi. Drushtadumna was made to he was born to kill Drona. But if you see the friendship of Krishna and Sudama, in Sudama also, Sudama's wife is asking, we don't have anything in our home, please, your friend is a big king, and why can't you go and ask something from him? And here Sudama, when he comes there, Krishna, he actually in Bhagavatam, it says that Krishna, when he got to know the news that Sudama has come, and he just ran outside without even wearing footwear, and he just brought Sudama and made him sit on asana, on his own asana, and he washed his feet, sprinkled the water on his head, started drinking the water, and sprinkled the water on all the Rukmini and everyone. And what kind of friendship is that? So, and even if you take as Krishna as an instructor, and just imagine this teacher is so patient that he wanted to prove one point. What is that? Wanted to make Arjuna fight. So for that, Krishna has to say 700 verses, and to different angles: karma yoga, gnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, bhakti yoga, sankhya yoga, just to prove one point. And after all those things, Krishna says at the end of Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, idam te gukhyam akyatam gukhyam gukhyataram maya vimrshayet asheshena yadechasi tadaguru. Vimrshayet, deliberate on what I have told. Simply don't listen like other religion. I just told, just follow that. Go and cut him. Go and cut his throat if it doesn't follow or follow our religion. Think that you deliberate after speaking probably for 90 minutes or so, and explaining in different angles to prove one point. And he was so compassionate and so patient. What that kind of teacher can we anywhere get? And finally he says, you decide what you want to do. Yate chasita takuru. And even if you take this Krishna, after fighting whole war, and he didn't take anything from him. It's just like, if you say anyone, we need your help, and say how much percentage or what I get from this, what is the deal? So they would ask. But here Krishna, after finishing everything, he just left that place. And Gandhari, in fact, over and above, Gandhari cursed Krishna that you are the cause of the death of my sons. But Krishna was very much accommodative. He accepted the curse as a grace. And even if you see Krishna's whole life was centered only to give happiness to each and everyone whom were around him. Whether he killed Kamsa, or he killed Jarasandha, made to kill Jarasandha, or in Mathura, or Magadha, or Hastinapur, he won the war. But everything he gave back to the others. He never took any percentage or any deal with it or any kickback to that. No, it should show that the leader should lead like this. And one more wonderful pastime of Krishna is, and Krishna was such a god who challenged the normal systems of worship which was going on, Indra Puja or Bhishma's vows, things like that. And to put a peacock feather on his head is also a kind of innovation. Krishna is known for innovative things. So in this, Krishna was everything to this Pandavas, and Krishna is offering his respects to this great sages like Vyasadeva and others, and Kunti and Yudhishthira. It is said here that afterwards, when the Lord asked permission to depart and the king gave it, the Lord offered his respects to Maharaj Yudhishthira by bowing down at his feet, and the king embraced him. After this, the Lord, being embraced by others and received their obeisances, got into the chariot. So whether Krishna was in Dwarka, he is respecting and honoring Narada, or whether Krishna in Dwaraka, he is respecting his own dear friend as Brahmana, washing his feet. Any of our friend, we never would do that. Is our friend, why have to wash his feet? But he respected the social norms. Today's topic was respecting social and spiritual order. So here the social and spiritual order is what? Social order is Kshatriya, Brahmana, Vaishya, Shudra. And spiritual order is what? Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanapasa, Sannyas. So, Chaturvarnya system guna karma avashaka. It is according to the guna and karma, the activities, the work they do, and also because of their nature. You have to just contemplate and see the whole Vedic system was there even before Krishna. This whole Varnashrama system was there. Probably, say 2000 years or 3000 years back, when the Brahmanas did not do their work properly. What is Brahmanas' work? Yajana, Yajana, Dana, Pratigraha, Patana, Patana. When they forget, when they gave up their job to give the knowledge which they have learned to others, or to make others know about yagnik process, or Dana, Pratigraha. If you see Sudama, he was very poor, Chanakya was very poor, and all these Brahmanas used to always remain poor. But when Brahmanas started possessing the wealth, accumulating wealth, and not giving to others, not giving their knowledge to others, not sharing what they have with others, then the Kshatriyas also, what they did, they also, why you have to feed these Brahmanas? What is the use? And they're not giving any knowledge to our children. So they also fail to do their job. And the other two classes, Vaishyas, who used to fund the other three classes of society, so they also started accumulating the wealth. And the Shudras, and also they thought that we are being exploited, racism, things like that, casteism, and they also started saying, why you have to listen to these Brahmanas? And started hartal, started movements, get together, all those things. And because of this, many other religions came about. It may be Jainism, it may be a Lingayatism, Lingayats, and so many people who came about after this, saying that because Brahmanas are not doing their job. So, but during the Krishna's time, this was a system that even though Sudama was his friend, because he respected him through his spiritual order and social order, that he was a Brahmana and he respected him. So, Lord's exemplary behavior is to teach us. So, but one thing we have to understand, when Krishna is doing this, someone was asking, well, Krishna is worshipping Shiva also in Somnath, or Rama is worshipping Shiva in Ramaneshwar, things like that. We have to understand that it is not to get some mercy or favor from those things, so those devotees, but it's basically to follow the social etiquettes, that he respects the social norms, social systems, order of the society, and worships them. So that was the system. Because Krishna says, Name karma limbanti, name karma palaspruhaha. So, yadya jati seshta tat eva itaro janaha. So, we as a devotees, we put tilak, we put kantimala, we wear devotional attire, things like that. So, we should be exemplary in our behavior, in our talks, in our dealings, and we should respect each and every one. Irrespective of, even if he is younger, we have to listen to him. Just like Krishna is, is listening from so many Uddhava, and I was much more younger. And in fact, he is asking him whether I should go to, during the incident of killing Jarasandha, he is consulting Uddhava, should I go alone or should I take someone else? And Uddhava says, you go with the Bhishma, Bhima and Arjuna. So that was his take. So this is very much important in our life, that we have to follow those etiquettes so that we can have wonderful community, wonderful life around Krishna, and and progress in our spiritual practices in our life very quickly and swiftly, and this is very much important part of our life. So it is getting time. So I just wanted to mention one thing. Prabhupada in 1971, in his correspondence letter, I just got this. And Prabhupada used to mention every other devotee as a Prabhu or Mataji or Maharaj, in his sannyasis. Prabhupada has himself, he has given sannyas to many of his own disciples. He used to call Maharaj and used to respect them. And one of his correspondence letters, I just read out this. He writes, one famous businessman, he writes this letter to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada appreciates that. It appears, I just quote that, it appears from your writings that you are a true devotee of the Lord and you have respect for the other devotees. This is very good sign of a devotee. I am very much obliged to you for your appreciation. So, very important in our life is, if we are to be charismatic in our life, is charisma is not because of the beauty we have. Charisma is because of the values which we have, good morals which we have, good etiquettes which we have. If you want to ask what is one thing in the tree which you can't see, which is very important. If you ask you one question, what is in a tree which is very important but you can't see, what is that? Fruit you can see. Roots also you can see. You can dig it and see the roots. See also, cell also you can see, microscope. You can't see the seed when it will manifest, when it will come and become as a fruit. So, soul is obviously it is there. You can't see, even through any material eyes. But how can you experience it? Or what is that part in a human being we can't see, even human beings we can't see, but it is very important. Character, values. You are known by your character. So actions are born from the thoughts, and thoughts are born from our character. There is a famous Chinese quote. He says that, watch your words, it becomes your actions. Watch your actions, it becomes your habit. Watch your habits, becomes your character. Watch your character, becomes destiny. So it all starts from the value system which you have. What value system you prioritize, that is important in your life. So the value system, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, is what we have to prioritize. As each and everyone has their own value systems. One man's food is another man's poison. So how do you ascertain which is good, which is bad in this world? So we have to go through the Guru Sadhu Shastras to ascertain what is right and what is wrong. And this how we can, then this moral, ethical values can guide us and direct our life to a proper destination. So, having said this, there is much more about discussion, but the shortage of time. And any question I would like to take off. So I request all of the devotees who are coming online or coming to the Bhagavatam class to prepare yourself to ask some question. Yes, I can understand you can't open the words to be discussed today and discuss a lot of other family responsibilities. But at least you can, whole week you can be thinking about what I should ask, what I am undergoing, how I should overcome this. So Bhagavatam or this class is not like just like entertainment, you come and spend time, gone. No, we have to progress in our life. We all come for a purpose and we all come for a reason. What is the reason? That we have to progress spiritually. And keeping that in mind, you should ask some questions, because why I'm saying the speaker may be very young or very immature, but when he sits on this Vyasasana, the right words would come. I very much believe this. So that those right words will impact in our life, and we can really take those instructions and progress in our spiritual life. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, there is one principle that we have been taught, that devotional life is like army discipline. One must be following command, control, and one must do what is one is told. But then there is also affection between devotees, which does not seem to fall into that same principle of command and control. So how does one decide where it is okay to express one's emotions and affection for other devotees without violating the structure of command and control? How to balance that?
It's a wonderful question. So we should have a fine balance of self-respect and giving respect to others. To give an example, when Krishna was there in his Gurukula, Sandipani Muni ashram, so once Sandipani Muni says to bring the firewood for the cooking. So we all know the story, and Krishna and Sudama and everyone goes, and it so happens it becomes very dark. They go so deep inside this forest. They want to get the good, very good firewood, because it was the rainy season, and most of the woods which are there dry, it was not dry, it all wet. So they went in search of the forest inside those dry wood, and they went into the deep forest, and they could not get the way back. So all those other friends all went away, and only Krishna and Sudama stayed there together. And very interestingly, Prabhupada says in the purport, it is something to be really thought, and Krishna is, if you see that photo of that paintings of Krishna, even it is there in Bhagavatam, that both of them held their hands, because it all became dark and it started raining, and the thunderstorms and gush of wind and rain started coming, and they were so much afraid and didn't know what to do. And there's a sense of fearfulness you can see in their face, that beautiful painting, and both of them are holding hand. And in both of their hands, the other hands, there is a firewood. So here, just imagine, friendship is also important. At the same time, your work, what was been assigned, was also important. See, very small, minute things, you can't know. Then next day morning, it happens they sit there and spend whole night there with all cold shivering. Then next day, the Sandipani Muni comes and finds out them and takes them back. So in a spiritual life, father's love and mother's love, both we require. Mother love is, chalo, chale gaye, come. She is ready to give away all her things which she has to the child. But father is not, he has to go in a respect way, and he has a lot of respect, lot of regulations, lot of rules, comes from the father. And a lot of compassion, feeling for others, and love, care, concern, comes from the mother. Both should have the balance. So that we can go through when we mature in our spiritual life, we can do that. So when we do nice chanting, when we do nice seva, when we do when you associate with devotees, things like that, have a sense of openness. Even people, many times it so happens, we may not be in that exact room, but we may be in the adjacent room. Someone will be talking about you, and you will get to know that. Everything about that, you get to know that. And how painful it becomes. And I was thinking he was like this, but he started speaking bad about me, behind me. And so then you started having a vengeance, and started hating him, things like that. But you should have a sense of openness. It's good. Probably this is a black spot I could not see. It's good that he's helping me grow in this way, so that I should come out of those black spots. So sense of openness in a community, when you have such kind, automatically the maturity level will come. How to deal with things. Just to take example of Rama, when Rama he told Sugriva that you go and fight with Vali, I will come and save you. But Vali says, Sugriva says, whoever stands in front of Vali, he will take away all the power. So then Rama said, okay, I will stand somewhere and I will shoot an arrow at Vali and kill him. But you go and fight. But he went and started fighting very badly. He got beaten up by Vali. Sugriva got very badly beaten up, and he comes and says, Rama, what is this, Rama? I was waiting that you would kill him, but I could not bear that pain. Finally, I ran away from him. So then Rama gives, he says that actually Rama doesn't know what. Rama knows who is Sugriva, who is Vali. He is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But he says, both of you look alike. I could not find who is Vali, who is Sugriva. So I could not kill both one of you. So then he says, you put the mala, you know the story, you put the mala and you go and fight. And got to know, and he kills the Vali. But actually the reason is not this. Reason is, in Ramayana in itself it says that when Rama and Lakshmana came to this Anjani Parvata, and Hanuman takes them to Sugriva, and Sugriva he explains that yes, some packet came from top. Is this packet belongs to your wife? And they get to say, yeah, this is my Sita's belongings, things like that. It got confirmed. And while we're talking this, and you get to know that Rama is the king of Ayodhya, and Sugriva makes only Rama sit and gives the upacharas, and he neglects. In fact, he humiliates Lakshmana. So here you should see that respect when we give, sometimes when we give to someone, and when someone is watching that and we don't give respect to them, it's all finer aspects of life, you know. So this all you will get to know only when we start having a sense of openness, a sense of belonging, that these people are mine, they are my brothers and sisters, and God brothers or God sisters, and this is my house, this is my place. When you sense a sense of belonging to this, you know, you feel love and care. Otherwise, if you don't have respect, then where the love would come? It's one-way traffic. So even just like Ravana also. Ravana was such a powerful, he used to dump all the soldiers into the ocean after the death, and after the war. And he didn't have any love for their people. Because if his enemies get to know that there's so many head counts are dead, and it's a loss, and basically it is all strategy which goes on there. But whereas in Rama's army, every the monkey was dead, was preserved and kept until the Hanuman brought the Sanjeevani and made them again alive. So in this all, many of this the history which we have, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavatam, and all this, it teaches a lot of moral principles and values and ethics which is required for the children and all of us to properly balance the work-life culture and progress in our spiritual life. So I hope I have answered your question. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.